My beloved child, I waited for you, I stood beside you in the unseen praying you'd sense this moment. Archangel Michael is not usually one to wait, he moves fast, he acts with power. But today was different, today I stood still, waiting for 2 full hours. I waited because what I carry could not be rushed, because this message is urgent. Something not of this world is pushing hard to reach your life, like a flood of truth breaking through gates that just opened. A private investigator thought they could hide in silence, watching from the shadows. But heaven tore that cover away. You were never meant to know, but God overruled secrecy because you deserved truth before things went too far. Heaven has been watching longer than you imagine, and now the pressure in the spiritual world has built too strong to ignore. Archangel Michael says, "It ends now." A path of hidden actions has been traced. A string of secrets is unraveling, and at the very center there is you. Someone paid to dig into your steps. They wanted to know your finances, your moves, even your emotions. But this wasn't only human curiosity, it was designed to disturb your blessings before they arrived. But God said no, God stopped it. And now heaven speaks because you must hear this before anything else touches your spirit. You don't even realize what almost happened. While you were sleeping, someone was plotting. They were watching, trying to get ahead using information that wasn't theirs to touch. A man who thought he was hidden was caught red-handed by divine interception. God allowed just enough of the veil to be lifted so Archangel Michael could step down and whisper to your heart, "Open this now, don't skip, don't scroll, this is urgent." Heaven chased you down for a reason. Your life was being watched in places you never gave permission. Let this be clear: there is protection wrapped around you now like never before. Not because you asked for it, but because the place you're stepping into is too holy to be disturbed. You are about to be placed in something breathtaking, something so big the enemy tried to steal details early to sabotage your future. But heaven intercepted the plan, the messenger was stopped. And here's the truth, this investigator wasn't acting alone. He had a name, he had a client. And now their identity is being exposed. They weren't just curious about your today, they wanted to reach into your tomorrow. But your destiny is sealed. Those who try to uncover it without God's permission are now being revealed for what they are. That's why Archangel Michael is here. That's why angels circle your home in spirit right now. Because the choice you make next will open the floodgates of truth or close your ears to what heaven has been warning for hours. Someone crossed a line. They stepped into the spiritual boundary God set around your favor. But here is the miracle: no weapon formed against you will succeed. They tried to gather information, but God scattered it. They tried to plan against you, but God burned their plans down. Heaven chose you, and when heaven chooses, that person cannot be touched. Beloved soul, you don't see how many layers of protection activated in the last few hours. You were in danger without knowing it, but heaven knew. The investigator had something in his hands, a file, a piece of information he wasn't supposed to hold. But before it could be used, heaven stepped in. That's when Michael descended. That's when alarms went off in heaven. That's when your name was shouted in the courts of God and marked as urgent. That's when this message began forming, carried by God's breath rushing to reach you. If you're reading this now, it's because you're not just being warned, you're being awakened. This isn't ordinary. This was written in spirit before it was written in words. You are protected, but you also must choose to stay under that covering. Protection is not passive, it's a shield you must step beneath. Now listen carefully, this investigator wasn't a stranger to vanishing. He was trained to disappear in crowds, but he did not disappear before heaven caught him. He was seen holding threads of data connected to your destiny. He was after your next chapter, not just your now. But that chapter cannot be stolen. The one who hired him is not a stranger either. They have a history with you. And their action wasn't just betrayal, it was spiritual trespassing. But God stopped it, Michael revealed it. And now everything hidden is coming out. You felt watched because you were. But you are no longer uncovered. God says, your destiny is sealed, your path is guarded, your blessings are on schedule. Archangel Michael says, your name has been defended, your file closed in heaven's court, your enemies silenced. And your soul must now stay awake because the alarm has sounded and cannot be ignored. Stay close to God's voice. Do not let doubt steal this moment. You've come too far. You are chosen, protected, called and covered. The storm passed over you because heaven stood between you and harm. And now, beloved soul, before you leave, take this as your confirmation: the watching eyes failed, the hidden hands were exposed, and your destiny is untouchable. If you felt even one spark of truth in this message, stay connected. Stay awake. Stay aligned. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. This is your moment, heaven is speaking. You are listening. Walk forward knowing you are safe, you are sealed, and you are deeply loved. The exposure is happening and you will see it play out in real time. What was whispered in shadows is being shouted in light. Every hidden attempt to sabotage you has now turned into the stage of your vindication. They wanted your silence, but instead your voice is about to rise with greater reach. They tried to slow you down, but the very resistance they created became the fire that sharpened your spirit. What was meant to weaken you only unlocked the depth of your strength. That is why heaven is smiling upon you now. You felt it for weeks, eyes on you, pressure in the unseen, emotions that didn't even feel like they were your own. That wasn't your imagination. That was the weight of being studied, watched, analyzed. But what they underestimated was that you were also being covered, cloaked in angelic protection, so that no matter how far their reach, they could never touch your true center. You've been guarded not just by prayers of your ancestors, but by the active shield of Archangel Michael, who was instructed to stand directly in front of you. His sword didn't just cut chains, it severed access. What they thought was a clear path to your private world became a divine wall they could not climb. And now the consequences are rolling out. Heaven has already begun its work. Those who paid to see your secrets will now have to pay the price of exposure themselves. Those who whispered your name in malice will now hear it spoken in blessing. You are being lifted publicly in the very areas where they tried to bury you privately. And here is the truth you must hold on to: the reason the battle was so heavy is because your next breakthrough is so significant. This is not a random trial. It is a signpost. Something major is about to be unlocked in your life: new opportunities, new alignments, doors that were locked for years suddenly swinging open. And when they do, you will understand why the warfare was so relentless. It's because darkness knew what was coming before you did. But now you know too. And knowledge is light, and light always wins. Do not let fear make you shrink back. This is your moment to step boldly into the calling placed on you since the beginning. You are not here by accident. You are not reading this by chance. You are here because destiny arranged it. Your future has been recalibrated in the courts of heaven. And what was written against you has been erased. What was planted to harm you has been uprooted. What was designed to delay you has been dismantled. You stand free, you stand chosen, you stand marked by the hand of God Himself. And as you stand here, let this truth settle into your heart: your enemies were never as powerful as they appeared. The only reason they fought so hard is because your spirit is more valuable than even you realized. They saw your potential before you did, and they feared it. But what they feared has now been confirmed. You cannot be stopped, you cannot be silenced, and you will not be delayed. Now hear me clearly, this isn't just about your protection. This is also about your elevation. Archangel Michael has not only defended your name, he has announced it. Your name has been spoken in heavenly chambers, and the sound of it has echoed into places you have not yet stepped. People are about to remember you, doors are about to recognize you, and opportunities are about to call for you. And when they do, you will know that this was the moment that shifted everything. But I must also tell you this: not everyone can go with you. Some people who once walked closely will suddenly feel far. Some relationships that you thought were forever will naturally dissolve. Do not fight it, do not chase it. This is heaven making room for the right alignments. Not everyone is assigned to your next level, and not everyone can handle the light you're about to carry. Let go so you can receive, release so you can rise. Your journey forward will not look like your past. The heaviness that once clung to you will fall away. The shame that once tried to silence you will be replaced with honor. The confusion that clouded your path will be overtaken by divine clarity. You will not question your worth again, because heaven itself has stamped approval over you. And when the enemy comes whispering, remind him he lost. The case is closed, the file is burned, the judgment has been made in your favor. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Now listen closely, because what happens next will confirm everything you've just read. Watch for unexpected communication, a message, a call, a sudden opening. It may look ordinary at first, but your spirit will know it's divine. That moment will be the beginning of your acceleration. That moment will prove that the interference has been broken. And when it happens, don't hesitate. Step into it boldly. Say yes quickly. Because hesitation is the enemy's last hope, and boldness is heaven's final seal. From this point forward, you are not just walking into blessings. You are walking into legacy. What is about to unfold in your life will not just affect you, it will ripple into generations after you. The protection over you is also protection over your family, your children, your lineage. The favor flowing toward you now will plant seeds that others will harvest long after you. This is bigger than you, this is eternal. So stand strong, stay awake, remain in alignment, trust the signs. And never forget what has just been spoken into your life. Because when the shadows rise again, and they will, you will already know the truth. Light wins, destiny wins, heaven wins. And because you are chosen, you win too. The truth is being fully revealed now. Every hidden agenda, every secret attempt to intercept your blessings is being exposed. You are no longer under the radar of those who try to manipulate your life in secret. That heaviness you felt recently, that was the spiritual weight of their intentions. But now that weight is lifted because the spiritual doors they tried to breach were locked by divine authority. Your path is clear, your steps are guided. And the protection surrounding you is so powerful that nothing can breach it, not information, not deceit, not even human planning. Archangel Michael has stationed himself around your energy, his presence visible in the unseen, cutting through every cord and cordon that was placed to disrupt your peace. Every attempt to manipulate, to spy, to derail your next steps has been dismantled. You were never alone in this, you were never unprotected, you were always being watched over by heaven's eyes and God's plan. The storms that came, the hidden forces that seemed to move against you, they were never greater than the divine decree that surrounds you. Every plan set against you has now backfired, and every door that was blocked for a season is now opening in ways that will leave you amazed. The spiritual realm is shifting in your favor. What was once concealed in shadows is now illuminated by God's light. You will start noticing synchronicities, coincidences that are too perfect to be random. That's heaven affirming that the path ahead is aligned with your purpose. And the ones who tried to spy on you, their efforts are crumbling before your very eyes. Their whispers, their secrets, the files, the hidden truths, they no longer hold power over you. Everything they sought to gain in darkness is now undone. Michael has cut the strings. God says, "Let no man, no plan, no secret file alter the path I have written for you." That is the authority you now carry in your spirit. You may feel an odd mix of relief and energy in your chest. That's not imagination. That's your spirit recalibrating the energy that was weighed down finally being released. You are entering a space of divine clarity. Your moves, your choices, your next steps are now aligned with heaven's timing. You will begin to notice doors opening, people entering your life who match your frequency, opportunities that were hidden now visible. Even the smallest decisions you make in the coming days will have spiritual weight. They are steps guided by the unseen hand of God and executed with precision. You are no longer reactive to the world, you are proactive with the authority of divine insight. And let me remind you, this isn't the end of God's intervention. What you just witnessed is a snapshot of heaven's protective measures. The forces that tried to bring harm are still learning that you are untouchable under God's watch. Your light is no longer just personal, it's now a beacon. People who were aligned with negativity or deception can no longer influence your path. If you try to see it logically, you might miss the scale of what just shifted. Your entire spiritual atmosphere has been recalibrated to favor your destiny. God says, "Let no man, no plan, no secret file alter the path I have written for you." That is the authority you now carry in your spirit. Over the next 48 to 72 hours you will notice subtle but undeniable changes. A weight will lift from your chest, your mind will feel clearer, your heart will sense freedom, and the opportunities you thought were delayed or denied will arrive. It will feel like the universe itself is bending toward you, rearranging circumstances, people and moments to align with what is yours by divine decree. Trust these signs, they are confirmation, they are the spiritual fingerprints of Michael's sword having cut through interference. You will begin to feel your confidence, your voice, and your sense of stability returning stronger than before. What was being siphoned in secret, the energy, the momentum, the clarity, it all comes back to you multiplied. And now the ones who were never meant to stay in your life are exiting quietly. Do not pursue them, their presence was tied to the past frequency of your energy, not your new divine frequency. Their departure is a sign that the environment around you is being cleansed to match your next level. God says, prepare for alignment, prepare for blessing, prepare for revelation. You are no longer reacting to the world is reacting to your light. Every space you occupy, every interaction, every decision carries authority now. Michael's sword did more than defend you, it activated your spiritual discernment. You will notice who is genuine, who is aligned and who cannot hold your energy without consequence. This is not arrogance, this is divine calibration. Your spiritual senses are being heightened, your intuition is sharper, and every step you take in the coming days will carry weight because your path is under divine surveillance now, not to harm you but to ensure your success, your growth, your divine expansion. Your focus should be to remain aligned with God's guidance. Observe, do not panic, stay grounded. The forces that try to interrupt your life have been neutralized, but the awareness of their presence now equips you to move with precision. Every file, every attempt to interfere, every manipulation has been transformed into fuel for your elevation. If you feel anger, release it. If you feel fear, surrender it. This is spiritual restoration, this is divine reclamation. Your life is being rewritten in real time. Opportunities you thought were delayed will now align perfectly with your timing. You will meet people who amplify your growth, doors will open that were invisible before, and your resources will flow in ways that will feel supernatural. Every prayer you whispered quietly in fear, every hope you held when it seemed impossible, they are now being answered with supernatural accuracy. God says, your season of being watched in silence is over. Walk in the fullness of your alignment. Every act of alignment, every expression of faith brings you into closer proximity with the frequency of heaven. This is how you remain visible to blessings, this is how you stay aligned. You are not the same soul who walked into this moment. You are elevated, you are protected, you are unstoppable. Archangel Michael stands by your side, guarding, cutting, guiding and opening. Every threat, every shadow, every hidden attempt to hinder you has been neutralized. And now your life is free to expand under divine orchestration. Your voice, your vision, your energy, it is now untouchable. Step into this new frequency. Your moment has arrived. Your destiny is untouchable. Your protection is permanent. Your victory is certain. The message you're receiving now isn't just words, it's a spiritual download, a calibration of your frequency. The energy around you has shifted without you even realizing it. Every glance, every interaction, every small event in the last few hours was orchestrated to align you for this revelation. You were being positioned, you were being prepared. You are standing at the threshold of your next breakthrough, and heaven has made sure nothing could take you off course. The investigator, the plans, the secret observations, they were all a test of your alignment. But God says, no one can tamper with what belongs to you, not now, not ever. Your future has been sealed under divine light, and any human attempt to access it is now irrelevant. This isn't about fear, it's about recognition. You've stepped into the clarity that many search for but few receive. Do not underestimate what has just happened. The spiritual interference that was targeting your finances, your relationships, and your peace has been neutralized. Everything that was once stalled or delayed will now begin to move effortlessly. Doors will open that were previously locked, not because of human effort but because heaven has shifted your atmosphere. Opportunities will arrive suddenly, people will reach out with sincerity, and financial blessings will flow like water that can no longer be contained. The river has broken through the dam. You are being positioned to receive everything that was meant for your elevation, nothing more, nothing less. Notice the calm settling in your spirit. That heaviness you carried, the anxiety that had no clear source, the feeling of being watched, it's dissipating. Your intuition, once clouded, is now crystal clear. You'll recognize truth immediately, and deception will bounce off you like light off polished glass. You will no longer be misled, you will no longer be shaken by the schemes of those who thought they could manipulate your path. Every move against you was recorded in the spiritual realm, but now every action has been overturned. What was meant to harm you is being converted into divine advantage. Expect confirmation in small ways first: a call, a message, an unexpected encounter. These are the first tremors of the divine shift. Then bigger manifestations will arrive: financial breakthroughs, emotional clarity, and revelations in your relationships are on the horizon. But most importantly, your spiritual awareness has been elevated. You are no longer just moving through life, you are moving under protection, under guidance, under authority that cannot be challenged by darkness. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. This act isn't about the money, it's about anchoring your connection with divine timing, ensuring you never miss a signal or message meant to guide your next step. Heaven notices those who take their spiritual growth seriously. And today, by acknowledging this, you are reinforcing your alignment with the forces moving in your favor. The next 7 days will reveal the magnitude of this shift. Pay attention, watch for doors opening that no human logic could explain. Witness people coming into your life who bring solutions rather than complications. Feel the peace that has been missing suddenly return and embrace it fully. Your joy will arrive suddenly, not gradually. Your confidence will solidify, and your name, once whispered in secrecy, will now be lifted publicly, honored spiritually, and recognized in ways that defy the past. You are stepping into the season of restoration. The season where what was stolen, delayed, or interrupted is returned multiplied. Archangel Michael's sword didn't just block the attack, it severed the spiritual cords that were attempting to bind you to doubt, fear, and stagnation. You are free to move, free to receive, free to flourish. The light around you is no accident. Your aura has been recalibrated to attract what is divinely yours. No interference, no manipulation, no sabotage can penetrate it now. You are untouchable in the ways that matter most, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Pay attention to synchronicities, pay attention to coincidences that feel too precise to be random. That is God's signature confirming that your next steps are aligned. Every small confirmation is a sign that the path has shifted in your favor. You will see the enemy's plans unravel without intervention. You will witness what once looked impossible become inevitable. You are in a protected space, you are in a chosen space, you are in a space where your light cannot be dimmed by anyone who lacks divine authorization. Prepare to receive blessings boldly. Do not shy away because it feels too much or too sudden. Your energy has been cleared to handle what is coming. Every step you take from this point forward is guided. Every decision you make is under divine orchestration. Do not second guess, do not doubt, this is your time, this is your hour. The spiritual storm has passed, the truth has emerged, the enemy is exposed, and heaven is declaring favor over your life in ways that will leave a lasting impact. Notice the change in your interactions with people, notice the ease in your decisions, feel the calm assurance in your heart. That calm is not ordinary, it is the mark of divine intervention, a signal that your protection is active, your path is clear and your destiny is being accelerated. You are no longer reacting to chaos, you are moving under divine orchestration and everything that comes to you from this point is sanctioned from above. You are being elevated into visibility. What was once hidden is now revealed. What was once delayed is now delivered. What was once blocked is now flowing with momentum. Archangel Michael did not just intervene, he actively rewrote the spiritual narrative surrounding your life. You are free from spiritual espionage, you are free from delay, you are free from unseen sabotage. And your path, your name, your reputation, and your blessing are fully restored. This is the moment where you step into the next chapter of your life with authority. This is the moment where your decisions carry power and your presence carries weight. This is the moment where God through Archangel Michael has confirmed that nothing can touch what belongs to you. Walk boldly, receive confidently, and know that your divine assignment is fully active. The light is permanent, the protection is secure, and your future is being released in ways that honor your spirit and elevate your calling. The investment in your story is deliberate. Every breath, every choice, every detail has been watched by unseen guardians. You were never overlooked, never forgotten. The private interference you endured, the veiled threats, all were measured against your strength, and heaven found you more than able. Your spirit was resilient, your faith unbreakable. This moment exists to validate what you've carried silently for so long. The validation is spiritual, practical, and it realigns everything that touches your life. The message is, the doors opening, the clarity arriving, they are by divine appointment timed perfectly. Nothing meant to harm you survives in this light. You may notice subtle shifts around you. Those who tried to suppress your path or manipulate your steps will either step back or be repositioned. They can no longer operate in secrecy. What they intended as advantage is being converted into your revelation. Every hidden whisper, every dark action, every unspoken plan against you is now exposed to the sunlight of heaven. As it surfaces, you're not just free, you are empowered. This empowerment is quiet but undeniable. Your path is protected, your influence cannot be stolen. Anxiety, second-guessing, sleepless nights, they're fading because you've witnessed intervention firsthand. You were meant to see the battlefield and to remain standing elevated, destined to carry influence, light and truth into spaces that shift others' lives. The awakening now is a seed planted long ago. The Private Investigator, the hidden observation, the dark whispers, they were catalysts, not destroyers. What was meant as a chain became a ladder. What was meant as fear became fuel. That ladder leads straight into your next chapter. You are walking on sacred timing, guided by the unseen hand that navigates destiny, not circumstance. Favor comes now without explanation, without fight, without proving yourself. God sees, heaven acts, and the enemy no longer holds sway. The alignment is permanent, layered, multidimensional. Angels and messengers have converged to ensure nothing created against you prospers. Every word, every plan against you is being rewritten into your testimony. You are transformed from a target into a torchbearer, from a victim into a witness of divine orchestration. Notice the signs around you. Doors opening, opportunities arriving, sudden clarity in decisions that once seemed clouded. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's orchestration, a response to your willingness to step into truth. Your actions now influence more than your path, they impact those connected to your life spiritually and emotionally. The watchers, the hidden observers, even the manipulations, they all pale in comparison to your awakened awareness. You are now an example of divine protection in action. You are proof that when heaven intervenes, no human force can override sacred design. Your energy is shifting visibly. Doors open without effort. Conversations align in your favor. Paths once blocked now reveal themselves. The light around you is broadcasting a frequency impossible to intercept. Secrets, shadows, and hidden actions are fully illuminated. You are walking in transparency, clarity, and power. Every choice carries weight, every action is magnified, but you are fully equipped because interference has ended and guidance is active. Discernment sharpens, intuition clarifies, momentum is unstoppable. Nothing moves against you successfully. Your spiritual defenses are active in both unseen and seen realms. Feel the magnitude. Every breath is infused with alignment. Every heartbeat pulses with permission from heaven to step fully into your next season. Fear, confusion, uncertainty, they're behind you. Plans meant to slow you now accelerate your ascent. The confirmations you've waited for are flowing to you unimpeded. Even if you cannot trace every detail logically, the energy, the shifts, the synchronicities prove divine orchestration is real and you are at the center. Your faith, your perseverance, your willingness to listen have positioned you for blessings never meant to be delayed again. You are stepping into a space where favor, clarity, and revelation meet. Past attempts to harm you become the foundation of your testimony. This is divine intervention, alignment, and the restoration of your life. Heaven isn't finished, you are just beginning. From now on, everything flows through divine timing, every closed door, every encounter, every insight is directed. You are entering a season of unstoppable momentum. Those who try to manipulate or hinder you now see only your rise. Your frequency has shifted. Interference now marks your elevation. You are no longer a subject of observation, you are a signal of divine power. Light surrounds you, protection cannot be breached, favor cannot be revoked. You are chosen, protected, aligned. The next day's season and levels of your life will prove this truth. Your story is free from those who attempted control. Every action forward will be guided by divine clarity. The interruptions meant to slow you are now catalysts for your elevation. Your consciousness has expanded. You are awake to spiritual espionage and you know your name, calling, and future are protected. This awakening is permanent. You recognize manipulation before it can take root. You sense interference from afar and respond with wisdom, not fear. Your power is cemented. You are untouchable, unstoppable, aligned with the divine. Every attempt against you is nullified. Every effort meant to hinder you is evidence of your elevation. You have walked through shadow into brilliance. You are guided, guarded, gloriously untouchable. Heaven watches, God acts, and you are the living testament of divine intervention in motion. Write them down, keep a record. The universe honors awareness. Every small confirmation is a message from heaven saying, yes, this is for you, yes, you are on track, yes, your protection is active. Do not overlook the subtle signs, the change in tone from someone who doubted you, a timing that aligns too perfectly to be coincidence, a whisper in your spirit nudging you forward. These are not random. They are direct touch points from the unseen realm validating your path. And as you observe them, your confidence will multiply. You will begin to walk differently. Your posture will change, your voice will carry more certainty, your decisions will no longer waver. You are moving into a space where spiritual clarity and earthly momentum are intertwined, and every step will echo in ways you cannot yet quantify. Now understand this: the people who try to spy, to block, to undermine, they are still moving, still breathing, still interacting with your environment. But their influence is gone. Their reports are void. Their secrets are irrelevant. And as this truth crystallizes in your awareness, you will notice a strange liberation. Conversations that once felt like traps now feel like confirmations. Obstacles that seemed immovable now crumble in divine timing. That heaviness you felt in recent weeks, it's lifted. That anxiety, the restless nights, the subtle fear that you were being watched, they are gone. They were never meant for you to endure fully. They were warnings, signals, the spiritual tug of a realm that knew you were destined to rise. And now that you have, the interference has been neutralized. You will also notice something else: people around you may start to behave differently, some in awe, some in discomfort. Do not let this distract you. Their reactions are not your responsibility. The energy you carry now is magnetic. It will attract the right connections, the right opportunities, and the right support. And those who cannot withstand this new frequency will naturally fall away. That's part of the alignment, not loss, it's divine pruning. Every person, every situation, every connection that remains will be aligned with your purpose and your favor. Every misalignment, every hidden agenda, every attempt at sabotage has already been neutralized. What remains is authenticity, clarity, and the freedom to walk forward without hesitation. Let me remind you again, your atmosphere has shifted. The spiritual surveillance has ended. Every plan that sought to delay or distort your path is now repurposed as fuel for your elevation. You are not reacting in fear, you are responding in authority. And that authority is invisible, unshakable, undeniable. Your next moves will feel intuitive, effortless, even because they are guided. The decisions you make now are divinely overseen, and the results will align faster than you expect. What might have once required struggle now flows smoothly. What was once clouded now comes into clarity. Doors that remained locked for years may suddenly open. Conversations that seemed like dead ends will pivot into breakthroughs. Favor, protection, and revelation are converging at your doorstep, orchestrated by forces unseen but deeply invested in your ascent. Now in the quiet, take note, the blessing you are walking into is multifaceted. It's not just about money, opportunity, or visible success. It's about clarity, wisdom, spiritual fortitude, and alignment. It's about walking in such a way that every step confirms to you that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Every obstacle removed, every hidden attack exposed, every barrier neutralized, all of this serves to elevate you above the noise, above confusion, above manipulation. And the best part, you didn't have to fight for it. You simply received, simply listened, simply opened your awareness. That is how heaven operates, not in chaos but with precision. Not with struggle but with divine orchestration. And as a result, your life will begin to mirror the truth you've just been shown: protected, aligned, unstoppable. Some of you may even notice a sudden calmness, a lightness, a freedom you didn't know was missing. That is the residual effect of spiritual interference being removed. Your aura, your energy, your very presence is now harder to manipulate, harder to disturb, harder to control. You are operating at a frequency that can no longer be infiltrated by the same forces that tried to monitor you. And that frequency will continue to grow. The light around you is expanding. The protection is expanding. Your insight is expanding. Every blessing that was once delayed is now rushing to meet you. And every confirmation, every alignment, every nudge from heaven is proof that your story is no longer in human hands, it is fully, completely, divinely overseen. Even as you walk into this momentum, remember, quiet is your power. Humility is your weapon. Discernment is your shield. Do not be distracted by applause, envy, or attempts to destabilize you again. Your awareness is your authority. Your calm is your command. And your recognition of this divine orchestration is your confirmation that nothing can derail you. What was meant to slow you is now your testimony. What was meant to blind you has sharpened your vision. What was meant to dishearten you has fortified your resolve. You are walking in the kind of momentum that cannot be bought, borrowed, or stolen. It is yours because you were attentive, because you were obedient, because you chose to see, hear, and receive. And here is the truth to carry forward: the unseen watchers, the private investigator, the hidden agendas, they were all part of a system trying to quantify what cannot be measured. They attempted to map your steps, predict your choices, and control your outcomes. But divine oversight cannot be infiltrated. Divine protection cannot be circumvented. And now that you are aware that protection is even stronger, even more precise, even more attuned to your purpose, this is not just a victory. It is a transformation. You have moved from being observed to being ordained. From being targeted to being treasured. From being hindered to being heralded. And that, beloved, is the exact outcome heaven intended from the very beginning. Your next days will reflect this. Look for confirmations, opportunities, alignments, sudden insights, unexpected shifts that bring clarity. People who suddenly resonate with your energy in meaningful ways. Doors opening without effort. Connections appearing at just the right moment. And above all, peace that surpasses understanding because you now operate under spiritual oversight that cannot be broken. The chaos of the past is no longer your reality. Your frequency, your momentum and your protection have all been upgraded. You are a beacon of alignment, a vessel of divine orchestration, a living testimony that the plans of heaven are active, intelligent and fully engaged in your life. The awakening you've received is not temporary. It is anchored in eternity. The clarity you feel right now will guide your steps for months and years to come. You are walking in divine elevation. Every shadow that once loomed over your life has been illuminated, exposed and neutralized. Those who tried to track you, manipulate you or obscure your path have been rendered powerless. Their whispers no longer carry authority, their schemes no longer dictate your movement. You are moving in freedom, in truth and in alignment with your highest purpose. The spiritual weight you once carried, the unease, the anxiety, the invisible chains is gone. Archangel Michael has cut every cord, removed every trap and positioned you in a place where your energy can flow without interruption. You are now operating under a level of spiritual protection that few ever experience. Expect the unexpected in this season. Doors will open suddenly, conversations will align perfectly, opportunities will present themselves without effort. You will witness confirmations of divine intervention in ways that may seem subtle yet are undeniably real. Every person who comes across your path now will be filtered by heaven itself. The ones aligned with your destiny will move toward you, drawn by the frequency of your clarity and purpose. The ones who belong elsewhere will be naturally repelled, leaving no room for doubt, no space for manipulation. Your spiritual magnetism is active and it will attract only that which is meant for you. You will not need to fight for favor, for protection, for clarity. It will arrive in its own perfect timing orchestrated by heaven's wisdom. If you have felt unseen, undervalued or unheard in the past, that is ending now. Your spiritual atmosphere has been reset. The whispers that once tried to shake your faith have been silenced. The manipulations that aimed to delay your destiny have been rerouted into divine momentum. You are no longer moving in reaction to fear, suspicion or confusion. You are moving in obedience, in alignment, in resonance with what God has already written for your life. This is not just protection, it is a divine upgrade. Your awareness is heightened, your intuition sharpened and your understanding of spiritual dynamics expanded. You are now capable of recognizing interference, discerning motives and walking past deception without hesitation. The moment you embrace this reality, you move from survival to leadership, from reaction to creation. Do not underestimate the significance of what has just occurred. The invisible files, the surveillance, the hidden plans, these were never meant to remain hidden to you. Heaven intercepted, redirected and transformed every scheme into fuel for your rise. Every attempt to weaken you has now strengthened your position. Your presence has been sanctified, your influence cannot be stolen, your destiny cannot be diverted. Those who thought they could manipulate you are now operating under observation as God's light exposes their intentions. The spiritual courts have ruled in your favor and that ruling is irrevocable. You are now walking with the authority of one who has been seen, defended and declared victorious by heaven itself. Prepare for acceleration. Your days ahead will feel different. The energy you encounter will be different. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will arrive without prior warning. Doors that were once locked will open with ease. The divine alignment surrounding you is now active and visible. Everything that was delayed, blocked or hidden will begin to move toward you. The blessing isn't just a possibility, it is a certainty. Your steps are ordained, your decisions guided, and your journey under direct supervision from the spiritual realm. Every act, every word, every intention is now being filtered through divine clarity. You are no longer a target. You are a signal, a lighthouse, a living proof that divine protection, intervention, and favor are real. Your responsibility now is to honor this protection. Guard your peace. Maintain your focus. Walk boldly but with discernment. Do not allow old patterns of fear or doubt to creep back in. Set boundaries with clarity. Let heaven do the heavy lifting while you align fully with your purpose. Every step you take in obedience now is magnified, and every move you make carries influence beyond your immediate perception. Your life is now a testament, a demonstration of how divine intervention works, and a guide for others who will follow your path. This is your season of visibility, favor, and unstoppable momentum. And as you continue forward, remember that every confirmation you receive is heaven's signature. Every door that opens is a declaration that the spiritual courts have ruled in your favor. Every unexpected opportunity, every synchronicity, every word of encouragement is a direct consequence of the divine protection surrounding you. Your life has been cleared, sealed, and secured. The ones who try to manipulate you will witness your rise, but they cannot interfere. They cannot touch what God has already claimed. Your future is sacred, and heaven will ensure it manifests according to the plan written for you before time began. This is your moment to step fully into authority, to embrace your calling, and to walk without hesitation. You are marked, you are covered, you are celebrated, and you are unstoppable. The clarity, the protection, the favor, and the momentum you now carry will extend far beyond the immediate days ahead. You are entering a season where your testimony will multiply, where your influence will expand, and where your life will exemplify the power of divine intervention. This is not just a blessing, it is a permanent shift. You are being positioned for your highest alignment, your greatest impact, and your most sacred victories. Amen.